Hello, in this video I'm going to review the Wirecast Gear 3 from Telestream, which is a professional live streaming hardware solution. Let's do it now. Hello, my name's Ian Anderson-Gray from the Confident Live Marketing Academy. Now, today's review is quite a bit different to what I normally do. In the past, I've created videos and blog posts about live streaming software lots of times. For example, I've reviewed Restream, Ecamm Live, or StreamYard, and I've reviewed Wirecast before on my blog. But the Wirecast Gear 3 is an actual computer designed for professional live streaming. So I was really excited with the opportunity to review one of these things. Now, Telestream very kindly sent me a Wirecast Gear 3 for review purposes, but as always, everything I say in this video are my own thoughts, and I'm not being paid for this review. The only problem is, they want it back afterwards. But I think we now need to open the box and see what's inside. So this is the Wirecast Gear 3 from Telestream. It has been shipped out to me in the UK. I can't wait to open it, so let's open it now. Really cool, there's a keyboard here, wireless keyboard and mouse from Microsoft. And here is the Wirecast Gear 3. So it's designed to be rack mounted. It's got a couple of USBs there. And then at the back. Now there are 4 different versions to the Wirecast Gear 3. First of all, you get to choose between HD and 4K. 4K obviously needs beefier hardware, and don't forget you need a pretty beefy upload speed with your internet connection for that. Then you get to choose between the traditional HDMI version or SDI. Now there was a bit of a mix-up and Telestream sent me the SDI version to me, which wasn't ideal because my cameras are only HDMI, but we managed to get a converter so I could plug my cameras in, so that was okay. And also my display, my monitor is only HDMI, and the back of the Wirecast Gear 3 is mini DisplayPort, but managed to get a cable to get it all fixed in, and we got there in the end. Now the great thing about the Wirecast Gear 3 is that you get the perfect hardware to run Wirecast Pro, so you don't need to worry about what processor and how much memory. It's all there, perfectly designed for Wirecast, and it doesn't break a sweat whatever you throw at it. The SDI version has 4 12G SDI ports, and the HDMI version has 4 HDMI ports, so you can plug up to 4 cameras in really easily. It runs Windows 10 Enterprise, and you get 1 terabyte of storage in addition to the system drive. Now, as you can hear, the fans are very loud, but it needs a lot of cooling because this is such a powerful system. Just make sure you don't have it right next to your microphone. I had a few problems getting the system to load, but after a few emails with support, got there absolutely fine, and you're greeted with the normal Windows desktop. Then you just double click on Wirecast to open, and I've got a lot of love for Wirecast. I have used Wirecast a lot of times in the past. It is really robust. It's not the most beautiful UI. It's a little bit clunky. It's not for beginners, but what you do get is so much flexibility, so much power. It allows you to multi-stream to different destinations at different resolutions, and you name it, it's got it all built in. Now you do have some limited options to highlight comments from the different channels, the different social channels, but it's not quite as easy and not as flexible as other solutions like Ecamm and some web-based solutions like StreamYard and Restream. You can also bring in guests using Rendezvous, which is their system to bring in guests via the web, which is really cool. When you switch it on, it does make quite a racket with the fans, but you kind of need that because this beast does so much. It's encoding to multiple different networks at different resolutions all at the same time, and is bringing in lots of different camera feeds as well. So you don't want this thing to get hot and slow down. It's meant to be rack mounted, not really what I'm doing at the moment, which is to put it on my desk, but this is just for the review. So I'm now going to share my screen and I'll take you through how to use the Wirecast Gear 3 using Wirecast Pro. So I'm going to load up Wirecast on the Gear 3, And I'm going to create an empty document just to start from scratch. So with Wirecast, you've got the preview area. So this is where you can play around with things and just check that you're happy with the way things look before you push it live. And then, of course, on the right here, there is the live area. So we can add lots of different layers. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different layers, and we can add lots of different shots on each layer. So shots are kind of like scenes. Other tools tend to call them scenes, but let's just add the first one here by clicking the plus. So in the Wirecast Gear 3, there are actually 4 capture cards, the Blackmagic Design Decklink 8K, and I've got my Sony camera plugged into the first one. So let's just add that in. And there we go. So I've got that here. Now, at the moment, we've also got the audio coming through as well. And I don't want that. I don't want the audio from my camera to come through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on the shot and then change the audio. And I'm going to change that to the Rodecaster. That's now coming through really well. Let's add a new shot and we can add a video here, for example. There's a stock media library. Let's have a look at that. So that looked quite a fun one. Let's just add that in. So I'm going to download that. So what I can do is I can just toggle between these, cut over to that video. So I've changed that in the preview area. Let's push that live. Now that's not currently playing automatically. So I'm going to add a new shot here. And I'm going to go down to media files and stock media library. Let's just add, double click on that. I'm going to add this nice little stream video. It's downloading that. I just need to, that's a smaller video, so I'm just going to have to resize that. It doesn't resize it automatically. I can change the transition from cut to smooth. There are loads of different types of transition here, so I could do that one. I'm not sure what that's going to be. Let's have a look. Okay, swap. Let's have a look. RGB channels. I have no idea what that's going to be. Well, that's cool. I like that. Ooh, that's pretty funky. Now, probably what I want to do is to have these layers further down. So I'm going to put those down to there. I can now put some lower thirds and text on some of these higher ones. Now, let's look at the streaming settings, because Wirecast at its heart is a live streaming tool, and the Wirecast Gear has so much power built into it. We've not just got the 4K capture cards or the HD capture cards, depending on what system you've got. It also will allow you to live stream to multiple platforms at the same time and record as well. There's a huge amount of power in here. So let's click on output and get to output settings. And currently we've got the record to disk setting switched on. I've got that at 4K, so this is going to record at the 4K, but there are loads of options here. In fact, you can actually make up your own. So I've got 4K at 30 frames per second, which I'm happy with. Let's add a few networks here. So we can add an RTMP, and here are the kind of the built-in settings here. We've got things like Azure Media Services, we've got Facebook Live, LinkedIn Live, Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. Those are kind of the main ones. But if that is not enough for you, of course, you've got RTMP. You can click on more and you have all of these as well. So if you are used to, for example, using Boxcast, then we can just add that to the normal list, or churchstreaming.tv. So I want to add in YouTube. Let's click on that and click on OK. And I'm going to change this to broadcast to YouTube in 4K. Now, obviously, this will depend on your bandwidth, not just the hardware. Obviously, the hardware of the Wirecast Gear 3 can cope with this, but you need to have decent upload speed, particularly if you're going to be streaming in 4K. Now, the only problem with this big long list is it's not easy to find where you're going. I would prefer it to be a little bit simpler. This, maybe you can choose the resolution first and then the frame rate, but that's just the way it is. Oh, right at the top, I'm blind. YouTube 4K, that's 2160p, 30 frames per second. Let's try that. Okay. Now the next thing I need to do is I need to authenticate with my YouTube channel. So I need to click on authenticate. It's going to open it up. I've already connected before, so I'm going to now collect to my YouTube channel, click allow. So I can now go back and I can see that my username is there. So I've got no broadcasts configured, but obviously I can create a new one. So let's click on plus and let's just do test broadcast. I'm going to use today's date at 11 a.m. Test. I'm just going to put a test in here because I'm not going to make this go live. I'm not going to make this go live publicly. Let's change public to unlisted. And there's loads of other options here. Do we want to allow embedding or not? Is this video made for kids? Do we want to enable auto start and auto stop? Let's click on save. Right, let's add another one in here. And we are going to do Facebook Live. Okay, now let's change the Facebook Live to 1080p time, 30 frames per second. Facebook Live doesn't work with 4K, and that's fine. And one of the great things about Wirecast is that you can send streams out in lots of different resolutions. The other cool thing is I can send different audio tracks. So if I want to send one particular audio track to YouTube, I can send another one to Facebook. And this is great if you, for example, have different languages. So you could have French on Facebook and you could then send out English on YouTube or something like that. We just need to click on that and change the track that way. Let's authenticate with Facebook. Okay, so I'm now connected. I can now choose my channel, my page. Actually, in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my profile. Because in that situation, I can then just broadcast to only me. Test in here, test, and change that to only me. So I could just keep on adding. I could probably add to LinkedIn and things like that, and Twitter and other places. But I think for the time being, I'm going to click on OK. Click OK. And then I can start streaming. So let's do this. And I'm now live. Hello, this is great. Let's just check it all out. Okay, so I'm streaming, but I'm not recording. So I want to also click on the record button there as well. We've also got options for the ISO as well. So there you go. That is the Wirecast Gear 3. Who's this for? It is for live streaming professionals. It's for the technical team, for event management companies. It's for hotels. It's for businesses. It's probably not for smaller businesses, for solopreneurs and content creators like me. But this is the kind of solution that I would use if I was doing some live stream producing for a big event, say at a conference center or a hotel. And I want to be really sure that it's going to cope with whatever I fling at it, and it's going to be able to do multi-streaming and also the ISO, recording the output of all the cameras all at the same time. Now, the Wirecast Gear 3 is not cheap. You are paying up to $10,000 for the 4K SDI version, but obviously just go to the Telestream website and you'll find out more about that. The prices will probably fluctuate as well. But overall, I'm really impressed with it. I did have some problems, but we got most of them sorted out. I'm really impressed overall with the Wirecast Gear 3. It's going to be the perfect solution for professionals, live streaming professionals. But there you go. That's the Wirecast Gear 3. If you have any questions or any thoughts, please leave them in the comments. And until next time, toodaloo.